New Broncos Stadium, no taxes for the public, retractable roof, target to be built in 2031, grass field, commitment to the community, development of an area that is blighted, to say the least. In terms of a new Denver, this, along with the development the KSC is planning to build around Ball Arena over the next few years, Denver is going to look like a different city in about 6-7 years. A different city. And today's a gargantuan announcement about the Denver Broncos staying in Denver. We'll have Parker Gabriel from the Denver Post that wrote the story about this coming on with us in 18 minutes. And the mayor of Denver will join us at 2 o'clock to talk about the economic impact to the city of Denver. But boys, what's your reaction to the huge announcement that the preferred site, it's not set in stone, but it's the preferred site. But I think this is as good of a lock as you can possibly imagine.
Cool, man. I mean, this is it's cool, man. We're getting a new stadium. It's officially here, and you know it's going to be state of the art. It's going to be the best stadium in the world, probably literally in the world. You know that's just kind of what happens here. So we're going to have some awesome stuff. They're going to build a new city around it. I'm relieved about my drive home. I don't have to worry about my traffic.
I forgot that was also
very,
in the press
very
release.
relieved about that.
Yes.
I appreciate the mayor considering me in that.
Yes.
And now I think it's going to be fascinating. The only debate that natives will have is going to be about the dome. Right now, it's retractable, so retractable roof. But I do think there's still going to be a little bit of debate there, and I think it'll be fascinating to see what they do with the first snow game.
Well, Buffalo's building a new stadium, and they're going to make sure the fans are covered, but the field isn't.
Yeah, I think that's
But
idiotic.
guess what Buffalo will never have?
A Super Bowl.
A Super Bowl.
Nor will they have like Taylor Swift in November come play at their place or 10,000 other things. I thought it was an insanely stupid decision. Also, they took millions and millions of dollars in public funding to do that half-empty stadium. I think it's an insane decision by Buffalo doing what they did. And by the way, they put that right next to Highmark Stadium, which is in Orchard Park. Yeah. That is not in Buffalo. It's not even that close.
And
it's
you got to
Park.
go through I say it with love, the hood, basically. When I went up to that stadium, first time I called a game up there, I was shocked. I'm like, we're in a neighborhood.
It's an old neighborhood. It's an old, beat-up neighborhood.
Kind of those houses that were built right after World War II. The what are those called? The bungalow-type houses, not real big.
It's where neighbors, where you put, parking $50, you stick in your front lawn, and, you don't have a lawn from.
Kind of like in Appleton.
Yes, actually, yes. Yeah. So, so this is completely different than what they're doing in Buffalo. It couldn't be more different.
Well, now we got to see if there's the train stop's not far from there, but don't you think they got to put another stop right there close?
Yeah, they'll put one literally at the doorstep.
You would think so, wouldn't
I would hope so, and we'll have the mayor on, and that definitely would be something we can talk about. The light rail stop for the Broncos right now isn't bad. I was just on it,
it's
actually.
Not great. I mean, I would expect the next one to be far closer than the current one.
Yeah, I mean, it's walkable. I did it this Sunday. It's a journey.
Yeah, I don't think it's great.
Down the road, behind the highway, around the corner,
it's
back underneath the highway.
As opposed to Ball Arena, which literally is right
in the backyard.
Right there. So, yeah, I'll be curious what they do with light rail and other forms of public transportation and access to roads, because it is within a neighborhood. It's an old, beat-up neighborhood with railway tracks and Denver water and all that.
What's liquor license number one? That's going to be right there in that area.
What's that?
The old bar that's basically right there in that area. It's got liquor license number 1.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, in Colorado.
Buckhorn Exchange.
Yeah, Buckhorn's right there by Burnham Yard.
It is right there. That's the most notable business that I can think of that exists in that area.
We would go down to either Ball or whatever back in my drinking days, and we took light rail. We would stop there in Buckhorn, get some appetizers, a couple drinks, and get back on the train because it's just right across the street from there.
Well, yeah, that's
because we wanted to say we had a drink at the number 1 liquor license in the state of Colorado.
Check that list.
I got that in.
Somebody was asking me what's wrong with the stadium now. Nothing necessarily, except there's no possibility of development of other businesses around it because of geography.
That's the big thing especially with privately funded stadiums.
Correct.
You know, if you're going to have the city and you, the taxpayer, is going to pay and foot half the bill or more like you did at Mile High, then you put it where the accessible grounds are and, you know, getting in and out because it basically is on top of the old McNichols building. They played across the street where where Mile High was, right, for a year until they did and then tore it down.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no place, you know, privately to put any businesses. Federal's already established and it is what it is.
Yep.
Now you watch, there'll be hotels over there, there'll be bars over there. You'll have LA Live kind of right there in Burnham Live.
And the beauty of owning it privately, if you can, is now you own all that stuff too. So you own the bowling alleys, you own the restaurants, you own all the real estate.
And you may not own them, but you're leased them and get.
Well, you're going to own the real estate.
You own
sure.
the ground,
and you're getting your taxes on their revenue.
Yeah,
you
that's where
know
you
what I
make
mean?
some money. Yeah.
So
it's a bold initiative. It's a commitment to the city of Denver. They made a point that they're also dedicated to the neighborhoods and the community, and that it'll be a 365 sort of setup, which I think is fantastic. And that is not the case right now with the new stadium.
No, it's used
or the old stadium,
and it's beautiful. There's probably nothing wrong with it that you couldn't just fix it up. But yeah, you look at Coors Field, and there's some people that may remember and may not what the downtown area looked like before Coors Field, and now what it looks like now. I mean, it's a fun time to go. Again, light rail to Union Station or whatever, and just
easy peasy.
You know, bar hop up to the facility. So I'm going to go see Paul McCartney. I think he's at Coors Field.
How about that? Yeah, that's coming.
I got tickets for that.
And now, if Paul McCartney was coming to Denver, and there was 80,000 people that wanted to see him, you could see him.
Do it in December, January, or February.
And it's starting in December or starting in 2031.
Yeah, see, to me, that stuff is way bigger than the hopes and the dreams of the Super Bowl, which is cool, and I'm not dismissing that at all. But the long-term revenue of all the winter concerts and everything else that you could guarantee, where you just can't guarantee the weather at the current setup,
or a Super Bowl.
That's a far bigger. Yeah, well, like I think the Super Bowl is relevant, but to me, that's like a one-off, you know.
Yeah, but listen, and it's been years since I've looked at the economic impact. And we looked at it when they were talking about building the new Mile High, and we said we ought to put a trackable roof and da-da-da.
Yeah.
And so this was, what year did that come in?
2000, 2001, something like that.
And a Super Bowl, they said, was at that time bringing in like $150 million of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
That was in 2000.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine now?
What's it 25 years later?
Well, I was told they're already blowing down buildings out there. They're already clearing it out. And, you know, one thing that was interesting, rumor floating around, as soon as they bought it, they started leveling because they don't want to worry about any like historical landmarks or anything, like anybody that might get in the way of something. So they're like, hey, we own that. Let's level that thing now.
They'll have to deal with 2 or 3 lawsuits coming up. There's always kind of like the guy that slapping players on the head gets pushed, and now he's apologized in a neck brace. You're going to have somebody like that.
Yeah, I mean, everything's got its own kind of, and they acknowledge that. We got a long way to go, long road. But just to make a commitment and an announcement and just to start this part of what will be a 5-6 year sort of journey is pretty damn exciting. And I've got to imagine this was, aside from having a winning team, I can't imagine a bigger priority for Greg and Carrie and the Walton Penner group than this. So I say congrats to him.
And again, what were you talking about just a week or two ago when we were talking about the ownership group? They got kids involved now.
They do.
So
they have 4 kids, the young adults.
And now you're going to build a new stadium with businesses around it. Guess what? You've started another empire, if you will, for these guys, haven't you?
The Penner family, if they, Walton Penner or Penner family, will be probably as well known as a family as there is over the next 100 years here in Colorado.
Maybe.
Oh, of course.
And here we go. But listen. What Coors Field meant and what KSE is going to develop around Ball Arena.
Same thing.
It's all the same thing. And you were in Atlanta. Centennial Park wasn't always there, but the Olympics came along in '96, and all of a sudden
revitalized that area a lot.
And look what happened to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a amazing positive. Of course, for my own little personal reasons about Lone Tree, and I think Lone Tree would have been a fine location too. But you would have faced a lot of backlash and a lot of hemming and hawing about it. This decision today and this commitment, I don't even know how somebody would have a problem with this. What exactly would the issues be? And the decision whether to put the roof on or put the roof off, I mean, that's a game time decision, right? I mean,
Yeah, you got options.
They'll figure that out when they get to it.
My gut actually tells me it really does, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but my gut tells me they'll open that thing up for bad weather. I think they'll enjoy the snow games. I mean, that's part of the beauty of having it. Now, you brought up a good point before the show. Like, is there a difference between a regular season game and a playoff game? Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, playoff game, we'll go ahead and close that thing off. We're not going to risk it.
Unless it's the Dolphins coming in town.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, but you know what, Scott?
Or Arizona.
But that is a unique little advantage that you can take over based off the geography of the team.
Well, all I'm saying is Super Bowls are now in play. Denver's always been and it always is a great convention city. People come here all the time.
Wait till
the
that
hotels
comes
are packed
to town.
up.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, listen. Yeah, it'll cool.
Yeah, very cool. And I'm happy for everybody, man. It's a boy, you want to talk about the benefit of having the wealthiest owners. This is, aside from being a great place for free agents and having the cash to pay players, this right here is the ultimate benefit. This is it.
Now, do you carry on Mile High Stadium? The name.
Yeah, it's a great question.
I bet you do.
Mile
Yeah, I
High.
mean, you did it last time. I bet you carry it on.
Mile High at Penner Park.
Well, you'll have a corporate sponsor attached to it. Somebody on the text line asked, because it's privately funded, does that mean they can name it whatever they want? Yes, but there will be a corporate sponsor because the amount of money that's involved in it.
Oh, they're here to make money. Ain't no doubt about it. I have no idea. That's a fun question, too.
And listen, and I'm going to ask the mayor this because, listen, if you read the newspaper, stayed up with the news, the city of Denver's they're in a deficit right now financially. And I know this is 5-6 years down the line, but I don't know anything about property taxes other than if you put a $5 billion structure there, I would assume there's some sort of property tax tied to it that can't hurt the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would think, and now you put all these other businesses doing sales tax and everything else that goes around there. I don't think that's going to hurt the city in a time they need a win.
Well, I tell you this.
Oh, the city desperately needs remodeled everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
They desperately need renovation. People don't want to go downtown right now. This is the best thing that has ever happened to any politician.
Losing the Broncos would have been devastating
right,
for
left,
this current
center,
batch
it
of
doesn't matter.
politicians.
This is the best thing that could have ever happened to the city of Denver.
Yeah, you
I
couldn't
agree.
lose the Broncos. And Lone Tree will just build a nice little park like they always were going to. Like, it's 15,000 people. It's no skin off their nose. It's not a big deal.
We'll have a skate park.
I think that's going to be part of it. I think it's
you
skate
don't
park.
build a park without a skate park.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good.
They can do something to try to get the summer X Games.
Yeah, like the city politicians of Lone Tree are probably like, darn it. But this would have been mind-blowing, devastatingly bad for Denver.
It'd crushed Denver.
Yeah.